Hello everybody, this is Thannus here. Today we are back in Metroid Prime. In the previous episode, we obtained the gravity suit and got to the Phazon Mines, a new area in the game. In this episode, we're going to be exploring the Phazon Mines further, in particular, trying to get through this gate here. And these turrets here are not the same as ones we've seen before. These are mega turrets. Perimeter defense turrets reinforced with energy shielding. Frustrated with their inferior armor plating on standard defense turrets, the space pirates added energy shielding to a modified heavy cannon. The new shielding and increased beam strength makes the mega turret an efficient point defense weapon. You can still, however, get rid of these ones, switch to your power beam, and go at them with a super missile. Easy enough. They do pack a lot more of a punch than the standard turrets, though, so you got to be a little bit more careful about getting hit by them. But obviously we can't pass by this force field here, so we're gonna have to figure out how to get through it. Maybe this big I guess that doesn't. I could have yeah, I thought there was a different one to disable it. Maybe it's this one as well. Yeah, there we are. So now we can get through there. That being said, we are going to hold off on for just a moment because there's still a little bit more we can do in this room. In particular, if we head over this way, we can climb up these ramps and get up to that little control station up there. Space pirates are going to come out and try to kill us, but thankfully we can make very quick work of them, as long as I don't fall off. So that's one down. This guy as well. And we just got the guy on top here. Easy. Keep heading over this way. Oh, I forgot about that guy. Make quick work of him as well. Not a big deal. Just completely forgot he was there. That was the main issue there. There's a door up that way. That's not the way we're supposed to go just yet, but it's good to keep that in mind. If we head over this way to the side of the crane, nothing there either. Okay, okay, yeah, I forgot this cliff face here. Can't do much with that right now because we don't have a grapple beam. We can scan this if I don't switch to the thermal visor on accident. Crane unit scan indicates recent use. Device is currently inactive. There is a power cell right here. We can shoot that. And that will enable some controls on that panel there. So we're going to want to head around into here. Transfer of building materials is complete. Processing of materials for Xenome containment units underway. Report all Phazon mutations to science team immediately. All units with useful mutations will receive an increase in pay and rations. Elite and trooper candidates are now being selected by command. Crane controls now active, which means we can now turn this thing around. And look at that. A missile tank. Very useful for us. So, we'll climb up here. And that lets us go across the tank. Across the crane. I just said it a few minutes ago. I don't know. I'm struggling to find the word there. And grab the missile expansion. Very nice. Let's head back down now. Like I said, can't get up there quite yet. So, we'll head through here. Yeah, I can't scan that. Alright. There's an item in here as well. We scan this. Structural integrity of Bendesium Gate is low. We still don't have the capacity to destroy Bendesium, so unfortunately, Not much we can do about that one just yet. Let's get rid of these turrets here. Got rid of both of them in one go, actually. Very nice. We can also scan this. That will... I believe this just disables the auto turrets like any other one of those would. Now that we're in here, I believe there's going to be a new enemy in here for us. But it will be a sec before we see it. Nope, Shadow Troopers. Yeah, thought so. Oof. Rip that guy. Who else hit me? You? Yeah, no, you're all Shadow Pirates. Okay, so no new enemies yet, but enemies nonetheless. Why am I missing all of my shots against him? Jesus. Okay. That should be all of them. Just keep heading through here. Can't get rid of this gate yet. Force field active, access prohibited. If we look up here, there's this little red bit here, but doesn't do anything for us right now. So we'll have to come back to that at another time. Keep heading through. Nothing else in this room for us, so we'll just head on down. Or up this way. I believe... Yes! Here we are. This is the new type of Space Pirate Trooper. This is a Wave Beam Pirate. They have reverse-engineered Samus's Wave Beam. Yep, there it is. A flaw in the design makes these pirates vulnerable to their own beam weapon system. These weapons are inferior to your chosen designed originals, but still quite potent. In other words, if you want to kill the Wave Beam troopers, use the Wave Beam. They are color-coded enemies. Very, very obviously telegraphed weaknesses. Could have swore I already killed that one. The Wave Troopers are going to be the majority of the enemies in this area. They are not immune to other weapon types, but your Wave Beam is going to be the most potent against these guys. Okay, maybe they are immune against other weapon types. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm stupid and wrong. Not a big deal. Let's keep going. Doors in this room have been unlocked, so now we can actually get through. Can't get through this, however, because it only opens to Space Pirate life forms. Not great for us. And this grate here, that's also Bendesium. Can't do anything with that just yet. So we'll go up this way. Around. Not much entrance to this room. There's more Phazon down below. And we got more Shadow Troopers as well. Get rid of them. Or him, I guess. So far, he's the only one. I swore that grate is also destroyable, but I guess not. Alright, very simple room here. Open this gate up as well. And we have a very big room here. A lot of Space Pirates. These guys are normal ones. Not a big deal. Deal with all of them very quickly. I think there's only those two, actually. And let's do some scanning here. Same old, same old. Unit ident code EPG8642, batch 23, field designation Elite Pirate Alpha. Stasis tank hull reinforced with Bendesium alloy plates. Awesome. Still don't have Bendesium, or the means of destroying it. Recommended battle systems for Elite Pirates are as follows. Shoulder-mounted plasma artillery cannon, repulsion shield, wavequake projector, energy siphon system, and retractable wrist bayonets.
Recorded to logbook.
Log 1101.9. Initial Project Helix experiments of space pirate embryos were disastrous. The Phazon infusion process degenerated brain tissue even as it augmented muscle mass. None of what we have termed elite pirates lived to maturity. The few that survived their infanthood suffered severe psychotic breakdowns as juveniles, killing anything within their zone of perception. Research team Solera made a recent breakthrough in which parasite studies with a phazon strain codenamed Vertigo were highly successful. Since then, we have successfully fused Vertigo phazon with space pirate DNA with great success. The latest batch of elite pirates have reached maturity successfully and are ready for field testing and training. Interesting. Let's see what we got over here. Platform systems active. That lets us head back up now. Very cool. Alright, and I don't believe there's anything else immediately accessible to us in the lower floor of this room. So yeah, let's take those platforms up. I did not mean to turn on my thermal visor. There are, however, wave troopers up top that we're going to have to deal with. So let's do that. Thankfully, we have exactly the means of defeating them. There. Easy as pie. These retractable shields here. Get rid of them. Activate more of the platforms. I am hearing an item now, but it's not one we can reach just yet. Bioform Samus Aran has made planetfall on Talon 4. The hunter is among us. All units are hereby ordered to attack Aran on sight. Terminal forces authorized. Report all sightings of Aran to Security Command at once. Got something else up there. Industrial pulse beam online. Auto-firing mode engaged. Another enemy up there I'm trying to scan. Attention, all units, report to your battle stations. Failure to comply with this order is an act of treason. Treason is punishable by termination. And scan this guy. This is a power trooper, space pirate armed with power beam technology. Space pirates have reverse engineered several of your weapons, including power beam. These guys still have, they pretty much all have the same bio. The main difference is the beam type that it mentions with it, pretty much. But yeah, power beam troopers are even easier to deal with because pretty much everything's already weak to the power beam. Not really a massive difference happening there. Could have swore I was able to destroy these big ones. Maybe with a super missile? Yeah, there we go. Item in question is not down here, however. It is up here. Surface integrity at 42%, presence of thermal power signature detected. Further pulse beam exposure could cause collapse. And there's a few walls like that around the entire room. And an item is behind one of them. So, let's see if we can find it. Go into this here, and we can spin this around. And that will give us access to the laser. Go ahead and activate it. Also, we can scan it, not that we really need to. It's a mining laser, pretty much. And we'll just rinse and repeat this until we find the item, pretty much. It'll lock into place every time it hits a wall. Keep activating it over and over again. Nothing in that one. Let's see. Also nada. This one here. Maybe this is it. No, no dice. Next wall. Also nothing, which means we got one wall left that it could possibly be. Which means the item must be behind here. Look at that. There's the missile expansion. Grab this as well. And there we go. Alright. And then nothing else for us to grab in this room, so let's go ahead and use an ice beam to get on out of here. Very unfortunate tunnel that I have just fallen down. Lost a lot of energy to that. Not how you're supposed to get down from there. Not a big deal. We'll survive. Welcome to this stupid room. I'm not a big fan of this room. This one is kind of annoying. But we can get rid of the power troopers first and worry about how annoying this room is later. Okay, yeah, missiles don't work on the beam troopers at all, I am realizing. Thought they did, that they do not. Alright, so those two guys on the bottom floor there are done. We go over here and scan this. Hologram represents the central pillar in this room. The pillar contains several rotating sections. They can be moved to gain access to different areas. Rotation of the pillar will alter the path of its magnetic rail tracks. Alright, good to know. This is a rotation control unit for the lower section of the pillar. It requires power to operate. Okay, so this is a little bit of a navigation puzzle for us. We can climb up this, but it doesn't do much of anything for us right now. So we're going to have to figure this out. Going up the yellow one does give us access to the second tier, but that's about where it ends. And then last but not least, that'll be pretty much the same deal with the red one. So, the way we can solve that, if we head around here and jump into that hole there, use our Morph Ball Bomb, and that will turn it. So now we can head up to the blue side, and that gives us clear access to it. Then, heading around here, there's yet another control panel for it. Red tracks and yellow track are still inaccessible, so we'll have to deal with those as well. Alright, there's the red track. So we climb up it as well now. Ah, yeah, we gotta turn it as well. My bad. There, that should do it. Now if we climb up the red pillar. No? Okay. We were one off still. Now that should do it. Yep, there we are. With access to the second level now, or third, I guess. I do hear some pirates, but they can't reach us. Oh, yes they can. Some more wave beam pirates. Not a big deal. Pretty easy to deal with. And there is another control panel over there, but it is blocked by, wouldn't you know it, Bendesium. That one thing that we can't bypass right now. So, we're going through here instead. Well, this room looks familiar in a way. These are just pulse bombers, though. Sorry, scatter bombers. So they're pretty easy to deal with, and we don't have to just take the damage when we fall down the pit. I am surprised that I survived that as much as I did. I don't think I'm getting that last energy refill. Not a big deal. Alright, let's keep going. A lot of ice beam doors in this area. Head through to level 2 of the Phazon Mines. Mines. 'Cause. 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 Whoa. That is huge, whatever that is. Alright. This transport gives us access back up. Oh, and yeah, those crates are explosive. My bad. Completely forgot about that. But they give us lots of energy, so I'll destroy them anyway. Okay, there is a dead space pirate and a missile. He was hiding in the vents, waiting for us to come out. Only for us to blow them up before we even knew he was there. Stellar strategy, my good sir. Let's keep going through. Another energy refill for us there. Alright. Now in this room here, there's a lot of stuff we can scan. A shipment of military-grade plasma artillery cannons is en route to Town 4. The Eganoid Star Marines we acquired them from, air quotes, we're letting them sit in a warehouse. Our elite pirates, on the other hand, will put them to good use very soon.
Recording to log.
More pirate entry. Log 11.156.9. Investigations into a possible ingress point for the impact crater continue to meet with failure. The shield of strange energy that protects it is impermeable, and all attempts to tunnel past it have proven fruitless. Our continued futility in this matter is made all the more significant in light of the recent life form readings we've discovered emanating from deep within the crater. Analysis of the readings indicates that a massive creature is gestating there, absorbing enormous amounts of phazon from the phazon core at the heart of the impact crater. This discovery makes accessing the crater doubly important. Not only will it open the door to its vast deposits of phazon within, but it will also lead us to this creature, whatever it may be.
Recording to logbook.
Another pirate data entry as well. Log 10.23.7. Security Command issued an all-points alert after the fall of Zebes. The alert concerns bioform Samus Aran, also known as the Hunter. Subject is heavily armed and extremely dangerous. Subject uses a powered armor suit of unknown design in battle, along with a number of potent beam and concussive weapons. All combat units are instructed to terminate Aran on sight, preferably in a fashion that will allow salvage of her powered armor suit and weapons. A considerable bounty will go to the unit who delivers Aran to command. Dead or alive, it matters not. Alright, so they really want Samus dead. We have to deactivate the force field beam. And presumably deal with whatever this is. Oh boy. This is an elite pirate, phazon-enhanced space pirate, incredibly strong, armored, and well-armed. Elite pirates are potent foes. Their energy siphon system absorbs beam weapon shots. The nature of this system makes them vulnerable to concussive-based weapons. Well-armed, the elite pirate is effective in close combat and at a distance. Their massive size can be a weakness, and their sluggish speed allows for evasion and quick actions. And then on their back is a plasma artillery cannon. The unit has extreme thermal signature due to lack of shielding. Cannon connected to energy siphon systems to augment performance. Avoid beam weapon fire when energy siphon unit is active. Good to know. In other words, don't hit him while he's raising his hand like that. Otherwise, he is entirely vulnerable to pretty much everything. But he takes a lot of damage to kill. And that's a grenade. Thankfully, when he's not siphoning energy, we can target his cannon directly, which allows us to destroy it, hopefully. It is not, however, vulnerable to missiles, so using those doesn't work too well. Ah, he's absorbing still. Good lord, stop it. I can't see you absorbing shit with my arm cannon in the way. Alright, that's the cannon done. And I guess him as well. I didn't think the cannon was what determined his entire existence. But sure. Okay. I'll take it. Head over this way. More pirate data. Log 11.222.8. Science team is attempting to reverse engineer Samus Aran's arsenal based off data acquired from her assaults on our forces. Progress is slow but steady. Command would dearly enjoy turning Aran's weapons against her. We believe we can implement beam weapon prototypes in 3 cycles. Aran's power suit technology remains a mystery, especially the curious morph ball function. All attempts at duplicating it have ended in disaster. 4 test subjects were horribly broken and twisted when they engaged our morph ball prototypes. Science team wisely decided to move on afterward. They're trying to replicate the morph ball. Bioform Samus Aran continues to assault our holdings on Talon 4. Security has been compromised in multiple areas. Casualty rates are rising. Command has authorized a sizable bounty for the capture or termination of Aran. Report to your field officers for details. Security level Tau will be in effect until further notice. All leaves canceled pending downgrade of alert status. Consumption of elite nutrient mix by non-elite units is strictly prohibited. Failure to comply will result in a 50% ration reduction for a decacycle. Okay. Phase on nutrient vat, elite pirate ration processing in progress. There's another door there. This is another nutrient vat. Alright. So, before we go through either of the doors in this room, we're going to head up and deal with the pirates in here. This is yet another new one. This is the Ice Trooper. Same spiel. We don't need to read it all again. Thankfully, despite the fact that powered by the Ice Beam technology, they don't really freeze anything with it, so they're very easy to kill, especially since they can just be frozen. Not an issue for us at all. Head on further up. Get rid of this guy as well. And that's everybody. Evaluation of plasma artillery cannons is complete. The weapons are fully functional, but a flaw has been discovered. Subpar thermal shielding gives them a high heat signature. This could make them easier to target for enemies with enhanced vision capabilities. Security alert, computer systems compromised. Bioform Samus Aran has cracked our systems. The Hunter can access our system at will and is able to bypass most of our security programs. Use manual locking systems when possible. Facility Command's request for elite pirate transfer to security forces granted. Prepare units EPG 8644 and EPG 8656 for field duty at once. Talon Metroid aggression levels are rising. Be alert for any attempts by Talon Metroids to escape from quarantine areas. Their energy absorption ability is not able to disrupt our force fields, but continued exposure to Phazon may change things for the worse. Reports on Hunter activity are in. Analysis indicated that the Hunter is using the Morph Ball technology to infiltrate our facilities. Recalibrate sensors to search for Morph Ball energy signatures. Alright. They are desperately trying to nip Samus's exploration in the bud. And there's a lot of space pirate research up here, by the way. A lot of reading. And we're going to read them all, of course. I'm not going to leave those just here. Why would I do that? Can't go through this force field.
Recorded to logbook.
Log 440.4. Results are in from field studies in the biofilm group Chozo, who we believe are extinct. We believe that Talon 4 was once a stronghold in the Great Chozo Empire, brought low by the meteor strike. Planetary devastation brought an end to the Chozo, yet remnants of their society remain. We are studying these relics in an attempt to harness their power. What is of no use to us, we destroy. In time, we shall have all we need from the dead race, and shall wipe this planet clean of their ugly ruins. The dead should serve the living, not hinder them. Jesus.
Recorded to logbook.
11.452.8. Although we are still no closer to finding the artifacts of the Chozo, we have at least produced a viable hypothesis for their function. It appears that each of the artifacts corresponds to one of the statues on the temple platform, and that each one acts as a small key to a huge lock. Judging by the number of statues, we assume there will be 12 artifacts. Once we find the resting spots of all 12, we can bring them here, unite them with their statues, and open the gate system at long last. Once we do, the impact crater and whatever creature it shelters will be ours for the taking. Phazon-infused fungal harvesting continues. Replacement of Decatridical with Phazon-infused fungal matter in the elite ration mix has been authorized. Security requests deployment of elite pirates in Metroid quarantine areas. The high casualties suffered by standard pirate units deployed in Metroid areas is not acceptable. Force field offline. We can get through there now. Reconfiguration of security drones authorized. Deploy new drones to mission critical areas immediately.
Recording to logbook.
11.402.5, we have come to another dead end. It is clear now that we will never discover the locations of the Chozo's artifacts until we can decipher the messages carved into the statues in this abominable temple. Our language databases are woefully inadequate, and our linguistic analysts can come up with little more than vague theories. The best hypothesis that we can offer is that finding artifacts will require items spiritually linked to the Chozo civilization. However, without these items, we are lost, and Command grows more impatient by the day. Results must be produced soon. The concept of space pirates sitting in like a office just discussing linguistics is really funny to me. Because the face of this organization, everything we see about the space pirates is just grunts and enemies and soldiers that we have to kill because they're in our way and they're also evil. But the scan logbook entries in the Prime games in particular really shed a lot of light on the inner workings of the space pirates and kind of fleshes them out. Obviously, they're still very morally wrong. Like, they are huge pieces of shit. But it is just very funny to me how there's like this whole nuanced system to how they operate, that a lot of which we don't see in the greater Metroid franchise.
Recording to logbook.
Alright, so 11.664.2. There have been numerous incidents involving spectral entities at Chozo ruined sites. Several personnel has been assaulted by these Chozo ghosts. Few have survived. Survivors speak of swift attacks from nowhere, brief sightings of the enemy, then nothing, only to be followed by another attack. Science team believes that these attacks are in response to our efforts to recover Chozo relics and artifacts. Somehow, these entities are able to interact with the physical world, and it appears they wish to keep their artifacts to themselves. We will make them pay for such arrogance, for even ghosts can be destroyed. Report any signs of ration rejection by elites at once. Increase phase-on portion of elite pirate ration by 18%. Replacement of standard hatch covers continues. Steel covers will be replaced with cordite and bendesium covers in 2 decacycles. Planetary stealth technology is back online. We have evaded detection by the battlecruiser Emmons. The brief lapse in planetary security caused by the crash of our frigate is over. Now we can concentrate our efforts on the Hunter.
Recording to logbook.
And then last pirate data entry for the room, 11.377.1. Analysis continues on these cursed ruins and the Chozo temple that hovers near them. We are now completely certain that the containment field denying us access to the impact crater is linked to strange artifacts that belong in the temple. But we are no closer to finding them or deciphering the riddles that seem to cover every wall of this ruined place. Command grows increasingly anxious for a resolution to this matter, so we must redouble our efforts. X-ray squadrons will begin terrain sweeps within days. Until they begin, patrols are instructed to report any and all architectural anomalies to their commanders. Alright. And then let's head on down. So this door here we were able to go through before. The little morph ball tunnel. And look at that. Bendesium. Our old nemesis. So we can't do anything with this room just yet. And we spent a very large amount of time reading pirate data scan entries, so I think with that, we will move on to the next room in the next episode. So I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.